What's up, YouTube watchers? Well, I finally if I can talk, I finally sold some stuff off of that long bed frame that's sitting right there in the darkness. I sold the bed off of it for $200, which the guy that bought it, he distributes beds, and the bed's going up in the rust belt to replace their rusty beds. So I'm sure he's making a killing off those beds, but $200. I ended up getting the proper fuel pump for this thing. That's the old one that I took out that I kind of hacked together. But one thing about these fuel pumps, I went to O'Reilly's, and my God, fuel pump prices have gone up. The cheapest one they had was like 170, 180. The next one up was 220. And then he had one for $89, but it doesn't have like the emissions, like the little the second plug on it, and it's the same damn thing. So for 90 something dollars out the door, I got that fuel pump, and it says it's for a V8 truck, like I guess a construction type vehicle or work truck or something. It don't have the emissions, but that's fine. I didn't plug any of that shit in. I'm just gonna run like a boat valve, run like my gas tank pressure through a boat valve. That way if it flips over, the valve will shut if this truck ever flips over or anything. But I've had it sitting here running. It seems to run a little smoother. I got more gas in the tank. Still on empty, but I want to test this thing and make sure everything's kosher before I start really doing anything. So it's actually got a proper fuel pump in it that's actually tightened down. Like I got the ring on the gas tank. The fuel pump is attached to the gas tank now. The bed has 4 bolts on it now. I took some metal pieces out of the stake pockets of the bed. I guess this thing that bed had like a camper on it, because them stake pockets, them little metal pieces were rattling in there, so I took those out. But this thing's been sitting here idling. I'm gonna take it down the road a little bit. That way I can check my headlights and stuff. It's about 7 o'clock, so maybe the work traffic will be kind of cleared out. I did get the third brake light hooked back up. All the tail lights and park lights and everything work on this thing. I added, that was the other thing. I added 1 1/4 of a quart of transmission fluid. One quart and a quarter of another quart. That's how low it was. So I don't know if that'll affect the shifting or anything, or how the transmission operates, but I mean, it was 1 1/4 low. So I got the transmission fluid filled up to the cold mark when it was cold. Let's see, oil level looks good, power steering, brake fluid, all looks good. Coolant is amazing. We're gonna take this thing out on a real ride this time. The only thing that this truck really needs to be one of the only things this truck needs to be good is it needs an alignment, which that's probably going to happen next. I need to get the right size tires, and the drive shaft probably needs to be lengthened. I'm going to do that. There's people back there in the house beside me. I guess some of their kinfolk came in. I hope I'm not bothering them with having this truck idling. Come on, shift truck, there you go. They did grade this road down a little bit, so it's not like really vibraty and corduroy like, but it's lumpy. It's like when you drive over it at like 20 miles an hour, it's real, like, it's got bigger lumps in it, so it's real lumpy, but way smoother than it was. And having 4 bolts in the bed back there, and any bit of rattling you hear in here, the rattling that you're hearing is these vents in the cab. Those plastic vents in the back of the cab, all the foam is wore off, so they rattle and make noise. But other than that, I don't hear any strange noises. I checked everything under the back of the truck. It's all tight. The front suspension, the front steering, the steering shaft is tight. Everything's pretty much tight on it. This tire on the driver's side's a little low again, but it shouldn't do much anything. I'm just going to take this thing back to where I took it last time when it popped and see if that fuel filter helps. I'm going to just get on it one time. That's all I want to do. And just see if it'll rev up and pull and do what it's supposed to do, so I know everything's okay. Like I said, that the fuel pump that I got, it didn't have the second plug on it, which I guess is like for the emissions, the evap. But I deleted all that stuff on this truck. There is no evap, no charcoal canister. So nobody around here really checks emissions anyway. Headlights look like they're pretty straight with the road. They may need to come up a little bit, or they may be just fine. I don't know. They do point out there pretty far. I don't want to put them up too far. Truck is actually running a little bit better. Like, the motor sounds smoother, but it still has that little bit of a lifter tick. I don't know what that is. Like I said, the truck does have 166,000 miles on it, the motor rather. Still downshifts real nice. Shifts really good. But anyway, I'll start the video back up when I get it down to that spot on the straightaway on Highway 7. Alright guys, my bad. I almost forgot to turn the camera on. I'm gonna wait till this car passes before I get on it, so just in case I blow the drive shaft out from under it or something. I don't know. Well, let's see what she does. Yeesh. It was cutting out a little bit. Like, it would be going, it'd be like, so I don't know what that's all about. I mean, it kind of sounds nasty, but it kind of sounds shitty. I don't know. I may need to get a little bit higher octane gas because it's got like 87 in it. Or that maybe may just be the motor, and maybe it's the lifter problem. I don't know. I'll hit it one more time going down this hill and see what it does. Yeah, it's cutting out pretty good. It pulls. I mean, I don't know. It pulls like I guess it should pull, but it is kind of cutting out. That muffler back there, I may need to get tips put on it because it sounds kind of raspy. You know, it's just, I need to put my phone down and actually listen to it and drive it without filming so I can kind of focus on what it sounds like. But, it needs a little work, I guess. Hopefully my girlfriend's not outside. She's gonna be like, what the hell are you doing driving that truck? I mean, it does good, I guess. It feels good, it feels peppy. I just thought it'd feel a little bit more, you know, with the 6.0, but then again, there's a lot of other factors. Wow, I didn't even say anything. The high beams look amazing. High beams are great. Alright, let's get this damn thing back home now before I blow the rear end or drive shaft out of it. Because that drive shaft, I felt, when I got up in the speed, I felt a little bit of drive shaft wobble, and that's probably because of the hangout of that yoke. I don't need to do that too much because that'll fuck shit all up doing that. So next thing, I probably need to get a lengthened drive shaft or something. Okay, I made it back. Motor still, I mean, still idles as smooth as ever. But on this side, you can just hear a little lifter tick. A little bit of a lifter tick. I think you can kind of hear it in the exhaust. I don't know, exhaust is a little lumpy, but yeah, I can tell when I got on it, it actually pulled pulled and didn't backfire or anything, but as it was revving through the gear, pulling through the gear, it was kind of cutting out here and there. So I don't know. I'll have to look into that more. But anyway, I guess that's that. I guess that's a success. It pulled real hard and shifted through the gears and didn't backfire and die or anything. But yeah, up in the speed, I can feel that drive shaft vibrate. It's sticking out too much. The yoke is in the transmission. But anyway, I guess that will end this video until I figure out something next, or it's cold right now. I'm not going to be working on that thing anytime soon. But I mean, it did good. It ran. I mean, if you don't get on it and don't hot rod it, it runs really good, really smooth. Even for not being aligned, it steers somewhat straight and it don't really pull any direction. I got it up to about 80 and it still didn't, you know, I didn't have to grab a hold of the wheel. You know, just nice. I guess the next thing I'll try to see if I can get it aligned or something, because I think the alignment would really help. It won't help it go any faster, obviously, but it'll help the feel of it. And the steering wheel's crooked. But anyway, that's it for now. You guys have a great day or night.